since we've done this.
This has been a very long
It's
time.
been a couple of months.
Yeah. Well, I had to go to Portugal and winterize those houses, and you had to finish your hit list of the Salvation Army Santa Claus guys.
I do hate those fuckers.
I know.
Like, I want to give money, but they're so fucking rude about it.
I don't like the bell.
Welcome to More Space
It's like
Required.
they don't want you to give them money.
Oh, are we not?
I get it.
Are we not there?
Oh, we are.
Oh, we are there?
Are we there?
Welcome to More Space
you ready?
Required. I'm ready.
All right. Well, welcome to More Space Required. Where my
Oh, shit.
oh, that's the box.
It's the box.
What's in the box?
Audio.
Oh,
Yeah. Audio's in the box. Welcome to More Space
I got
Required.
this. I got this.
This here is Tyler.
Wait, no, I got this.
Oh, you got this?
I got this.
All right.
All right. I'm looking at the camera. It's just I'm pretending it's my phone. Welcome to More Space Required. Where
Don't
my
look at the camera.
God
You
damn
look
it.
at me. You fucking
I
look
can't
at me.
do both. Hold on. No, I can't. Welcome to More Space Required, where my co-host Josh, too many ducks on the dance floor, Baco, compile our combined 71 years of useless knowledge and try to hammer it into something coherent and thoughtful.
It used to say data trash.
So, Josh, let's jettison the data trash.
Oh, goddamn.
And why don't you tell me about
Noah's Ark.
All right, I'm in.
So, I don't even know where to start. First of all, we're
What do you
recording
mean
this.
you don't know where to start?
No, it's not just Noah's Ark, but first of all, we are recording this on film for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a camera there,
Because
camera there,
as
camera
your dad's
there.
always said, we both have faces for radio, so I'm not sure what.
First of all,
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful, beautiful snowflake.
Yeah, when
That's
you're
the
listening.
first thing. I'm real white.
True.
Second,
And pointy.
it's another thing to put it. You can't just put like a
What are we gonna call
Spotify
this?
on YouTube. More space required.
Oh, I thought our YouTube thing would be like space docking or something.
It really shouldn't be.
Just put it onto the shelf.
So,
Did you do the 30-second countdown for your YouTube, by the way? When was our first curse word?
Oh, when did I say fuck first?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we'll find out.
we got to come
That's
up with a
why
cool
we
bleep.
can edit.
Right.
So, I want to tell you a story that is very, very long, very involved, but it ends with Donna De Erico. You ever heard of her?
No.
She looks kind of like Pamela Anderson. She was on Baywatch. She was on Baywatch season 8 and 9.
Okay.
And she actually started off on Baywatch Nights.
Out of here.
Get that out of there. Baywatch
The
Nights.
medieval.
Oh, I wish.
series.
I fucking wish. That was drowning. So
Yeah.
she fell off of Mount Ararat.
Oh, not like a career thing, but she actually fell down.
She
I
fell
fell down.
off a mountain
Right.
in a landslide.
Okay. Oh, and then she found Noah's Ark.
No, on
Oh.
Mount Ararat.
Yeah, where it landed.
Crew member grabbed her before she fell off the mountain. Crew member? She was there with a fucking documentary crew
I mean, yeah.
looking for Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a thing they do.
That exactly. And I went down this crazy
Did
fucking
you find
rabbit
out about
hole.
like the fucking astronaut guy?
Oh my God, I got everything.
Okay.
On top of that, I have also discovered Noah's Ark, other than the scams in modern days of we found Noah's Ark, Noah's Ark has been a scam forever.
Yeah.
Like forever. Forever?
Forever.
Ever. So I kind of want to give you a little bit of the history of Noah's Ark.
Yeah, lay it on me.
So Noah's
Like
Ark,
the biblical history or like
Oh.
the commercial history?
biblical history.
Okay.
And, well, a little bit of biblical, a little bit of commercial, a little bit of Mesopotamian.
Weird how that all mixes together.
It really does. Yeah, this definitely can't go on my main YouTube channel. I'm pretty
Who
sure.
travels in
You were
space?
like, hey, they're traveling around. Look at them. Oh, they're in Colombia. Oh, they're in Porto. Oh, what was that about my religion?
Well, I mean, you could go to Ararat.
I'm not.
There are a bunch of rocks
The
there.
thing's fucking impossible to climb.
I mean, yeah, it's a real big mountain.
Oh, no, it's not just real big, but it has a permanent snow line. It's super fucking steep. People die. There's a quote in my whole story of people are regularly eaten by wolves. That's
Really?
a thing.
Huh.
That's a
I
thing
didn't know
on Mount
wolves were still into
Ararat.
that. Yeah.
So-
So, we had woke wolves. Woke. Say that.
Woke wolves?
Yeah, careful.
Woke wolves?
Mhm.
Cancel culture of wolves?
Cancel culture. Anyway,
I fucking love cancel culture.
it's
Get
not.
out
I
of
don't.
here.
It's just.
It's accountability culture.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
digging
what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
suffering repercussions of your shitty ass actions.
Yeah.
Point is,
Coming for
Noah's
me, by
Ark,
the way.
big old boat in Genesis.
Mhm.
Also known as Tavat Noah in Hebrew.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Mhm.
It also appears in the Quran.
Yeah.
It's in all of them.
Yeah.
The Quran has some minor changes.
The whole biblical thing's a trilogy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
More or less. But there's a little bit of changes. But up till now,
I mean, it's a retcons. Yeah.
This book's not canon.
Well,
So up until now, there has
Marvel
been
shared universe.
zero fucking evidence whatsoever.
No, there's some rocks, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, it's bullshit as well.
Yeah.
Zero evidence whatsoever that there was A, a boat,
Mhm.
or B, a global flood.
Mhm.
For a host of really impressive scientific reasons that I saw, but mostly because it's literally impossible.
Well, yeah.
You can't flood the entire fucking planet with rain. There's not that much fucking water.
Well, I mean, unless you're Jehovah.
Fair point.
Or, God, we did
Yahweh?
this. No, we did on our Ancient Aliens when we talked about where that original story came from. What's his name? Utnapishtim was the original.
That's a name?
Yeah, it was the original Noah. Much like in Zorro was the original Batman.
So we're going to get into that.
Okay.
We're going to get into how many of those there are.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a theory that there was a great deluge.
Yeah.
That happened about, 7,550 BC, or apparently people are calling it BP now instead of BC. I don't know what it stands for.
Yeah, the oil company.
Petroleum, I guess. Yeah. That there was a localized flood.
Whoa.
That was called the Black Sea Deluge. That
is Noah now a fossil fuel? I know that works with dinosaurs.
Well, everything on the boat, I guess, at this point. Well, I think it needs to be much longer, millions of years,
Yeah,
I think, in order to turn into oil. So the Black Sea Deluge, big flood, 7,000 BC. It could be that localized flood.
What they say.
The problem is,
once you go deluge, gets real wet.
touche. The problem is, even that flood is a theory. We have no real historical evidence. It's just maybe there was this flood.
Yeah.
But also, that doesn't fucking matter either.
Right.
Because there are stories that date all the way back to the 20th through the 16th centuries BCE of Mesopotamian stories about a great flood.
Yeah.
And there's 9 of them that are major, and each one kind of builds off the others, with the last one being the one that we briefly spoke about during the Ancient Assholes episode, which no one watching this on YouTube would have heard of or seen, but it's Noah's Ark. It's almost exactly Noah's Ark. The shape is a little bit different, but everything else is the same.
Yeah.
Even but the size is about the same. So
cubits.
Well, how many cubits?
I don't know.
Do you know your biblical history?
It's like, I want to say it's like 300, but I'm not sure.
You're fucking good at this.
It's been a while, but I think, it's like
300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide. Do you know what a cubit is?
I do not.
Cubit is just a fucking bullshit ass form of measurement.
Like it's a mascot waiting to be PlayStation.
At the time, it could have been between 17 and 20 inches. During the Roman period, it could have been 41 inches. So Noah's
this is the
Ark,
original dick measurement.
apparently.
Oh, how big are you? I'm 7 cubits. What do you got? Well, I'm also 7 cubits.
10 years
but
later,
the big ones.
guess what? I'm 7 cubits now. So that puts the Ark dimensions somewhere around 525 to 624 feet long, 87 by 104 feet wide, and about 52 to 62 feet tall. That is about the size of the USS Independence.
I was going to say.
It's an aircraft carrier.
Right.
Can you fit 2 of every animal in all of existence into an aircraft carrier?
Well, it depends.
Go
How
for
many?
it.
I don't know the facts on this.
Mm-hmm.
Did he do them all at once, or did he do some and then evolution took over?
Well, evolution. Talking about the Bible. Ain't no evolution.
I didn't know. Yeah, I thought maybe we'd worked that in there.
No.
So all of them at once.
All at once.
Yeah.
Everything. Crickets and shit. Elephants.
Yeah.
A lot of shit, actually, if we're being honest. How do you separate that?
The shit?
Everything.
I believe.
How do you stop the animals from eating each other? How do you stop them from procreating?
Again,
How do you fucking feed them?
Canon, but I believe the carnivores were on the bottom and the vegetarians were on top.
That actually does make sense. Touche, Bible.
Yeah, I mean,
well done.
We've had a couple years to think about it.
Well
I don't think that's in the Bible. Yeah.
So
I think somebody found an ancient drawing of a light bulb in Egypt and was like, you know what? I get it now.
that's probably, that's a battery, as it turns out. Look at this helicopter.
Babylonian battery.
How we churn butter. No, it's a helicopter.
Actually, that's Steve. He's not real crayons he can handle, but the stonework
scratching into the wall. We don't know what he does.
Not so good. Yeah. Fucking great balaclava.
We were doing some tree panning on him. Baklava? He's never been the same.
One of them's a mask, one of them's a food.
Balaclava is the mask. Baklava is the very delicious food.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you were bringing up, the closest story is, and I can't pronounce it either,
I think it's Utnapishtim.
It fucking is. Yeah. Why am I talking about biblical theology and dogma with you? It's pointless.
I mean...
Do you know what it's in, though? The Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Is it the Anunnaki that got... The gods got mad because the people were real loud.
You know what? I'll stop this episode.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
You already know the info.
No, go ahead.
You bastard.
You know, this is one of my favorite subjects.
I know it is. That's why I figured you'd like the episode. I figured it would be good. Time. So, the last known version was written in Greek in the 3rd century
of
BCE.
Gilgamesh?
No, by Babylonian priest named Berosus.
Last version of the flood myth?
Last version of the flood myth from Mesopotamian era. From the fragments that survived, there is barely any difference between the very last version and Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the Bible's to begin with.
No.
It was everyone else's. There's a professor, and I'm only bringing him up for 2 reasons. 1, he's got a good quote, and 2, I love his name.
Mm-hmm.
It's Professor Irving Finkel.
That's pretty solid.
He's a British...
and he's British?
Yes.
Great.
He's a British philologist and Assyriologist.
I feel like the first one you go to jail for.
I know. That's what I was thinking. But he's currently the assistant keeper of ancient Mesopotamian script, languages, and cultures.
His last name was Finkel.
I know.
That's like if Gandalf's last name was like,
in the Department of the Middle East in the British Museum, which, by the way, that's shitty.
Yeah.
List of what?
Yeah.
Fucking British people.
Yeah.
Hey, go to Greece, see the statues. Go back to London. They're not there.
Yeah.
So he specializes in cuneiform inscriptions on tablets of clay from ancient Mesopotamia. And he says, quoting, "The iconic story of the flood, Noah, and the ark as we know it today certainly originated in the landscape of ancient Mesopotamia, now known as modern Iraq."
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy that would know it.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact about him, though, he also studies the history of board games, and he's the guy who figured out the rules of the royal game of Ur.
I don't know what that is.
You never seen it?
Mm-mm.
We'll put a picture up, but it looks kind of like a fucked up chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like square, and then there's a thin part, and then there's a little T part.
Okay.
It's the oldest known board game in history.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. They sell it nowadays because he figured out the rules.
Huh.
So God,
mm-hmm.
he, she,
Not Finkel.
it, God,
mm-hmm.
gave Noah the set of instructions, 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, all that shit. When it was done, it was to be covered in pitch
mm-hmm.
and all that shit.
Yeah.
So more examples of this not being an original biblical story. The word for pitch, the ceiling tar resin,
mm-hmm.
In Genesis is not using the normal Hebrew word for it.
Oh, right, because they took it.
Yeah. It's very closely related to the words used in the Babylonian story.
So not only they took it, but then they misspelled it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then the Hebrew word for ark, which is teva,
mm-hmm.
is nearly identical to the Babylonian word for an oblong boat.
Well, they were also, the ancient Hebrews were slaves to the Babylonians for a long time. And they think that's where a lot of this religious stuff comes from. It's like, hey, that's a good idea.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So all of the different stories have different causes for why the flood occurred. Some of my favorites. In the Hebrew myth, the flood inflicts God's judgment on wicked humanity. That's
mm-hmm.
the Noah's Ark, you know. The Babylonian, the one that's closest, the one in Gilgamesh, no reasons. It's blamed on, and I'm quoting, and I love this, divine caprice.
Yeah, they were pissed off. Yeah.
No. They're not even pissed off.
Oh.
In Gilgamesh, they're not even pissed off. There's literally no reason other than fuck it and flood. That is the only reason for it.
So the other justification that I see when they talk about that one that I have seen is that the humans were too loud making their cities and shit, and the gods were trying to sleep.
So those are some of them.
Yeah.
So you've got,
which I fucking love. It's like if your dad was like, "Turn your stereo down," and you didn't, and he just threw a bathtub in your bedroom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
fuck this. Yeah. It's the bucket of water, but on a global scale.
Yeah.
The other reason that I liked is it was sent to reduce human population. This is in the Babylonian
they're still obsessed with that
Trahasis
shit.
version. And after the flood, other measures were introduced to limit humanity.
Oh, God. Alex Jones doesn't even know he's fighting the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So since its inception, Noah's Ark is bullshit. Because what Christian is out there, believing Noah's Ark is real and also being like, but the Mesopotamians had some pretty good ideas too.
Yeah.
If their shit is made up, your shit is made up.
Yeah.
That's just how that goes. Now, I don't know. We're going to check in with our producer real quick.
That was fun to say, huh?
Producer, what time are we at? We got 6 minutes till the break.
Well, before we go to the break, I had a thought while you were doing that. And it's like, I mean, what this is it basically rained one day for the first time. And some dude was like, fuck, we almost died.
Yeah.
And then over the years, he tells his kids, like, hey, it rained so hard that my fucking shoes are floating.
Well, it's not even that, though. It's not rain so hard.
Yeah.
They're on river deltas. These rivers flood naturally.
Yeah.
The entirety of
it's like the very first good
Egypt
flood became like a fish story.
Yeah, the entirety of ancient Egypt is built around the fact that the Nile floods and recedes and leaves all of that fertile ground, and it's amazing. Same concept, but it probably fucked up someone's house one day, and they were like, it fucked up my house. And 1,000 years later, the entire world was
like
drowning.
His grandkids were like, it came through here one day and washed away the whole town. And fucking the one guy left was like, there wasn't even a town here. But it's the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it morphs into other shit, and then it turns into Baywatch stars climbing mountains in Armenia.
Yeah.
However,
if it was going to flood again, and I had to pick my lifeguard, probably not
David
her.
Hasselhoff.
She can't. Yeah, I was gonna say she can't.
Straight up
even
David
mountain.
Hasselhoff. Yeah.
Or
picks. Actually, there's a new Baywatch. So
is there?
The Rock.
Oh yeah, if I get that choice.
Yeah. Carried me in his supple arms.
You wouldn't even notice I was there.
Rippling pecs. You wouldn't even notice. Yeah. There'd just be a white splotch on his amazing chest.
Pecs is an injury, but probably unrelated to carrying.
That's ripping. These are rippling.
Like,
they ripple.
Like the waters themselves.
Exactly. Like the great flood that punished humanity,
Yeah.
or reduced our population, or was just done for Scheisse und Giggle.
Yeah.
Rippling pecs.
Nice.
I got nothing more to say to you.
Let's take a break.
This is a good break for the next subject, because we're going to talk about the search for the Ark.
Yeah, that's
and the fact that shit started a long time ago.
And is ongoing.
Yes.
Which you would think, man, if I spend 2 hours looking for my keys, I just assume my keys are gone, and it's left at that.
But God said your keys are on top of a mountain. Misas.
He would. What a dick. God.
Ugh. And we're back.
We're back again. Back again.
So,
tell your friends.
Are you Backstreet Boysing me?
No, dude, it's Eminem.
All right,
Shady's back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you messed up though.
What?
You forgot about Dre.
Well, God damn it.
Yeah. People talking like they got something to say. Nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. What the fuck is that? Well, they forgot about Dre.
Mom's sweater. Don't fuck this up.
Oh, spaghetti. So, search for the Ark.
Yeah.
That shit has been going on forever. Ever and ever and ever. So, when the flooding subsides, the Ark is said to come to rest on the mountains of Ararat. A-R-A-R-A-T. At the time, it very much corresponds to an ancient Assyrian Urartu.
Ancient ass, yeah.
These fucking names.
Yeah, man.
But that's just a term for the kingdom of Van, which is a
Who's
Assyrian
Van?
kingdom. I don't know, but dude was rad.
Yeah.
So, since the Middle Ages, the mountains of Ararat were identified with a mountain that's in present-day Turkey, historical Armenia, known as Massis or Agridagi.
That was pretty good. I don't know if it was right, but that was pretty good.
There's a lot of squiggles.
Isn't that where Garfield ships? No, that's Abu Dhabi.
That's Abu Dhabi. The mountain ends up becoming known as Mount Ararat. Not its original name, known as Mount Massi. Now it's Mount Ararat.
Yeah.
Because
that's where Atlantis was.
Fucking why not? So the earliest known kind of search for Noah's Ark comes in the Talmud, which is the central text of rabbinic Judaism, primary source of Jewish law.
I gotta give you
religion.
some more like Middle East.
I can't. I'm not good
East.
at it.
What's the actual term for that? It's not Middle East. That's an American thing. We'll get back to it some other day.
That spot.
We need some more.
That spot.
Yeah, we need some more space for that.
Yeah. So. More of these fucked up names.
So
in
excited.
the Talmud, the Assyrian king Sennacherib
Send it where? Also, how annoying would that be? Are cherubs generally
Sennacherib? Sennacherib.
Like a Cupid thing.
It's not my fucking
fault.
Cupid's
a cherub, right?
That's his father's fucking fault. Or mother. I don't know who named him.
Yeah.
So here's what I love, though.
Probably didn't even know who his mom was.
The story is that he found a beam from the ark. Like a long
like
beam.
one of the cross beams.
Yeah. What amuses me about that is when he found it, he figured...
Wait, who found this again?
Shannara.
That was probably it.
When he found it, he figured that it was the God who delivered Noah from the flood, this boat, divine influence. So he took the wood and carved it into an idol in order to worship it.
Which is perfect.
And what I love is the God he's worshiping.
It's like, hey, don't do that.
The God's name is derived from the Hebrew word Nasser, meaning beam.
Get out of here.
I'm dead serious.
Get out of here.
Dead serious. I found a beam. Who's your God? Beam.
like Jim, right? His first name's Jim.
Yep. Beam.
Humans are so creative.
And so
where do you live? West Town.
West
where's
Town.
that at? It's west of the town.
Fuck it. South.
Where I worship the god Beam, who is a chair. It's a human beam.
He's a cherub.
Yeah, send a cherub. Do it.
So some of these names are great, though. When I was researching this, I kept coming across a guy named Josephus.
Josephus.
He's a Josephus.
Okay.
There's no fucking...
Are you sure it's not the Roman
I'm pretty fucking
scribe?
sure. Do you know the rest of his name?
No.
Titus Flavius Josephus.
Yeah.
Titus Flavius.
Yeah.
That is a baller-ass name.
Dude. He was like
mic with you?
I had to lean back. I lean back and I think, okay, we'll get a string.
Bring them up.
We'll do the cowboy hat
thing.
Neck. Yeah, and it'll just stay with me. Come with me. Well, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he was like the scribe for one of the Roman emperors.
He was a first century Romano-Jewish historian who was actually born in Jerusalem. At the time, it was Roman Judea.
One of the ones that is credited for writing about contemporary Jesus. Yep. And then also they say that he made that shit up. So they don't have a definitive.
Well, it's even better than that. He was the first one to link Noah's flood to the Sumerian flood myths.
Oh, nice.
He combined the writings, and I actually do have to look down for this one because it's more fucking names. Berosus, who's a Babylonian writer. The Greek ones. Hieronymus of Cardia, who was a Greek general and historian. Okay, this is an M followed by an N for the beginning of a name. That's bullshit, but we're going to go with Meneses of Petrae, who was a Greek historian.
You've betrayed me.
And Nicolaus of Damascus. I got that one right.
Damascus, who was get out of here.
Jewish historian and philosopher. I said Damascus.
Yeah, I'm saying, you got a kitchen knife in there.
Well, it's not my fault that one was easy. So he combined all those things together, all these Sumerian myths, as well as Noah's Ark, put them all together, and he decided it's on Armenia. It's on this mountain in Armenia. And that's where, at the time, he says, that's where it rests to this day.
Yeah.
And that's the important part. He made this claim, and he was well-respected, and he made this claim, it's there now. It hasn't been destroyed. It hasn't been decayed. It exists at this moment in time.
You got to pay the toll.
Hold on. I do love this. My producer just got into my eye line and told me that I have to sit up.
Yeah. Is that why you rubbed your nipples?
It is. That's the weird part.
Yeah. Put some steel in your spine.
I got some stank in that. Hold on, wait. Let's bring that up.
Jimmy stank.
Yeah, get some stank in there.
All right. Troll the beam in order to get to the mountain.
Producer, we're good.
All right.
We're good. So, and that's a big deal. Him saying that it's there now, and that kind of sparks everything else.
Well, the great thing about it is no one can fucking read. So he writes it down. Only the rich people know it, and they're not going anywhere.
They're not climbing the fucking mountain. No,
they're gonna pay fucking.
I bought fancy articulating
$7 for our $8 mics.
$15 a piece, sir, for our $11 mics.
The most expensive thing on this table right now is your Jameson. I don't know where you want it.
At your.
Rub your nipples.
First of all, do you not?
Rub your nipples and leave me alone.
So what I love is the early Christian church.
Not everyone
for
says
many
that.
reasons.
That's a bold statement.
There's stories from Titus Flavius and from others. They basically used it as fact
Yeah.
And a big branch of Christianity called, and I didn't actually know this, you might, but the Christian apologetics. You ever heard that term?
Yes.
When I first read the term, I thought it was,
They're the ones...
hey guys, sorry for the guilt. Like, that's what I thought.
No, aren't they the ones going back and saying the Jews did it? Isn't that them?
Everything.
Yeah.
They are a branch of Christianity there to defend any criticism towards Christianity.
Yeah.
The name is confusing.
Yeah, it's because they went, well, we didn't just kill early Christians. That wasn't us. It was a conspiracy. See, the globalists killing the Christians in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, John God damn it, man. Chrysostom. Chrysostom.
Chrysanthemum?
The CHRYSOSTOM. It's the SOS that's the problem.
Well, no, actually, that's the solution. Because in the middle of his name, he's like, I can't do this either.
So Chrysostom.
Help!
He was quoted as asking non-believers, and I'm theoretically quoted, have you heard of the flood, of that universal destruction? That was not just a threat, was it? Did it not really come to pass? Was not this mighty work carried out? Do not the mountains of Armenia testify to it? Where the ark is rested?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And are not the remains of the ark preserved there to this very day? Yeah. I don't know why that's the voice.
I mean, that is the voice.
Again, this is very ancient, but it is the voice. For our admonition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go look, slave. It's there. Hey, slave, where are you going? Go make me a thing.
Back. You got to build some shit.
Yeah.
So they took this as fact. It is sitting here. You have to believe it. And therefore, it is proof of our religion and proof of our God. And he's pissed.
And also, we were chosen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, again, and I stress, the mountain that they decided it rested on just so happened to be the mountain that you cannot fucking climb. It is nightmarish to ascend this mountain. It is.
You know what I like about the filming thing? Before we were doing this, I was doing this a lot, and now people know.
And now you're realizing it?
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, your pigeon agreement.
Truth.
So eventually this shit
pigeon
comes out of
T-Rex arms.
Eventually this shit comes out of favor.
Yeah.
Because most people by the 5th century in Europe, they're all
that was a favorite joke.
They're all fucking Christian. You don't need to do this shit to convince them anymore. I swear to Christ.
Dude,
there you go.
I don't know what to tell
you.
There
you go. Just an angle. Just an angle. Oh, you son of a bitch. You know what? No one can hear you on the podcast now. Say whatever I want.
Because that was going to change.
You know what's upsetting, by the way? For the longest time, since this wasn't a visual medium, I had people possibly convinced that you were 4'8" and 325 pounds.
Yeah. Well, it's not too late. And also, the thing that upsets me is that you've been saying viewers to our podcast, non-audience, for so long. I don't know what to say now.
I made it fat, motherfucker.
I don't know what to say now.
All right.
This is a tactile podcast.
It's driving me nuts because I keep having to look down because I cannot pronounce these fucking names.
Yeah, no, that's the best part.
So, by the 5th century, there's a legend going around about...
What happened to Beam? Do you know?
Okay, so he was calling it Nasser Beam, but he was effectively worshiping Jehovah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like Prince, Beam got a name change.
Don't fucking take that name in vain, Josh.
Beam! Beam, damn you. My new thing.
Yeah, it's a better thing.
The legend arises of Jacob of Nisibis, also known as Saint Jacob the Great.
They just tack that shit onto anybody, don't they?
Yeah, he was a bishop of Nisibis.
What a bishop.
Weird. Which, by the way, Tyler of Coffeeville, Josh of Tampa.
Not as good.
The names were better.
If you throw great in, well, you can't pronounce them. They can be whatever you want. But if you throw great in there, you get somewhere.
Great Tyler of Coffeeville?
No, Tyler of Great Coffeeville. Because that's both
That is
incorrect,
actually, that is slightly,
but it's got the right syllables.
But it's not bad. Oh, yeah, you're somewhere in Michigan, right?
Not right now.
Tyler of Detroit?
I have been. Well, Pontiac.
Tyler of Pontiac.
Of Great Pontiac.
That's of Great Pontiac. That's not bad.
See, now we're getting somewhere.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Go to your roots,
I'm from Tampon. Yeah.
Well, you tamped off.
So, there was a legend. As I love this line. As related by Faustus of Byzantium, Jacob and his party traveled to the mountains of Armenia and came to Sararad Mountain, which was in the borders of the fucking names. Aratian lordship in the district of Korduk. Near the summit, an angel visited him in his sleep, telling him to climb no further.
Yeah, no shit.
But because you can't climb any further, here's a piece of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Take it back as evidence of the ark.
I love that all your ancient Mesopotamian god voices are just the dudes selling meat down in the Lower West Side London in 1543.
Meat pies.
Yeah.
So he brings said piece of wood back to the city, and they
Which also great. Hey,
held it for the rest of
guys,
time.
I woke up. It's cold. We can't go any further. It's like, no, if we try. No. An angel came down and he said, I've got this wood. Jimmy, there's a fucking hobnail in it. Yeah, it's from the ark.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta go.
By the way, the wood in the ark is called gopher wood. That's what it was in the Bible. That's what it's said to be made out of. That is the only time the term gopher wood is used in the Bible. And everyone's like, well, they meant cypress. But they didn't say cypress. Well, they meant cedar. Well, they didn't say cedar. They said fucking gopher wood.
That's because the guy that wrote it down has a sense of humor, and he knew in our time to just go for the wood. It's not there, but you'll find it. Jesus has a sense of humor.
So there's a whole bunch of other people during that time period that also say they've seen the archangel, have spoken to them. But my favorite is Sir Walter Raleigh fucking chimes in.
Yeah.
How does this guy keep coming up in every piece of history I fucking look at? Constantly.
Yeah.
What is this, the moon landing? Well, Sir Walter Raleigh. So he objected to the view that it landed in Armenia. He 100% did not believe.
I can't remember. Is this guy an asshole? I feel like he's an asshole.
Is he a colonial British man?
Right. Fair. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did he have a sir title in the 1800s? Not a good sign.
Not good.
But he did not believe it ended up in Armenia. He believed that it could have been part of a whole bunch of other mountain ranges, that it would never have gone there. Specifically
because of flow tides. Tide flows? I don't
No,
know.
he thought it ended up in East Mesopotamia because the descendants Noah's descendants ended up in Shannara, which is nowhere fucking near Armenia.
Isn't that where that sword is?
What sword?
Of Shannara.
Never heard of that.
Oh, wow. I went too nerd on you? I don't think I've ever gone.
What's that from?
It's from the books called The Sword of Shannara. I think MTV did a TV show.
Okay, well, that's the problem. I don't read. I'm having a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, fair. Continue, sir. I'll be back. I got loud.
Well, at least I appreciate your Really? You're not going to move it back?
No, this is where it goes.
Son of a bitch.
This is where it goes.
I hate you so much. So, it's this great deluge of fucking liars, basically saying we climbed the mountain. An angel told me no. No, angel. Now, granted, they weren't fucking John Smith, Native American angels. Read this golden tablet. Read it again. I can't.
The guy that married Pocahontas?
John Smith. Mormons.
Oh, you meant Joseph Smith.
Is that Joseph Smith?
Yeah, it's a Joe.
Oh, well, I mean, neither really matter.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Mormonism is like Scientology at this point.
And at the original point as well.
No. I think at the original point, he just really wanted to be popular. And Scientology was like, we just really want to run everything.
Oh, Ron Hubbard. Yeah. They both came up with real good stories and convinced a lot of people that they knew they were talking about.
Bleep out Scientology to make sure we don't get sued.
If you were going to bleep out anything to keep from getting sued, it'd be those assholes. Yeah. But fuck them.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'll call Rimini. We'll get him on the horn.
Who are you calling? Leo Remini?
Yeah.
Remini?
I thought it was Rimini.
Remini? Is it Remini?
I think it's
Producer!
Remini. Thank you.
Remini. God, I hope she's
Leah,
picked
right?
up. Leah, I really hope she's mic'd. I really hope she picks up on the mics.
Oh, we'll pick it up.
Add that shit in post. So it started off as not even their story. It moves into this is factual information and we're going to use it to convince you into our religion. Did not God do this? And it goes even further to He-Man. I'm going to make a god out of the beam of wood and call it beam, which by the way, Jesus, come on.
It's hard to say Jesus in this particular episode.
It really
curse,
is.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They got one right.
And it's Walter Raleigh had to rally. I don't know why I always have to say Raleigh. It's Walter Raleigh.
I don't know either, but I'm glad it happens.
But he even had to chime in and be like, it's probably not there. And he's an asshole.
Well, yeah.
So
general theme.
it brings us into modern times.
Mm-hmm.
And by modern times, I mean like 1800s moving forward. And also by that, I mean, I think it's time for a break.
I have no idea. I'm not the producer.
Well, this would theoretically be a word from our sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Producer, do we have sponsors? Yeah. That was a hard no.
I was going to turn the sign off, but I don't know how. I'm not going to touch it.
Do we just sit here for a little and like pretend like there's a Mountain Dew commercial? Or wait.
I don't know if...
Hey, Corona.
I don't know if
Do you also hate old religious stories?
I don't know how YouTube works. I don't know how...
I'm probably going to have to blur this out, actually, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Or just never monetize this channel.
Either way. I mean, we could blur it out just in case.
I like money.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Thank you for picking up on my nonverbal cues.
Good thing we didn't record that.
All right. So it's it's your turn.
Okay.
Huh?
For what?
Tell me about the modern searches for the Ark. Pull up your research.
Well, it turns out there's a booming business outside of Mountain.
Fuck out of here.
All right.
So, first recorded ascent of Mount Ararat was done in 1829 by, I love this name, Friedrich Perot.
That's good. Yeah, he could be like a fringe detective.
He could. He really could, right?
That's good.
Perot.
Yeah.
I like that. He believed heavily that the Ark was still there, that after all this time, gopher wood hadn't decomposed into fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's been fossilized.
Is that how gopher wood works?
Yeah. Specifically, it's its trait.
Specifically?
Yeah.
Atlantically?
No, just Pacific.
Mediterranean?
If you cross, it's the salt and the air. You cross the ocean.
So he believed it's on this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And he states, and I love this statement. I just gotta find it.
So far, I'm with you.
Right. So he believes, at the time, 1829, all the Armenians are firmly persuaded that Noah's Ark remains to this very day on the top of Mount Ararat.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hysterical to me because there's been this long-standing fucking correlation with Christian dogma and theology between Ararat and Armenia. But the Armenians always thought it was bullshit.
Yeah, it's fucking a
They were like,
tourist
that's
attraction.
not where this is. Please fuck off.
Yeah.
Up until the Crusades in the 11th century. At which point, all of a sudden, yeah, this is Ararat,
Don't hit
guys.
me! Don't hit me! It was
It's a
holy.
real nice mountain. Boat might be up there. Everything's cool.
We do a lot of sailing in these parts.
Fucking Crusades. So they decided that Massis is now Mount Ararat. So this concept that, all the Armenians firmly believe, no. All the Armenians are like, yeah, man.
No, see what happened is we
right
tried
there.
to tell them to go that way and that didn't work. So we figured we just send them up the mountain. They don't come back down.
So, the
Do you guys want to buy a sword?
the original belief in the area was that you don't climb Massis. You're forbidden to do so. It was a holy mountain to them.
Yeah.
But now they believe that the reason you don't climb it is because of the angel that came to Jacob and said, don't fucking climb this.
Yeah.
Here's some wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't fuck with it. Next one after that is James Bryce. He climbs it in 1876.
It's a good year.
And I actually have to, this is a quote from an article about him. He discovered a piece of wood about 4 feet long and 5 inches thick, evidently cut by some tool and so far above the limit of trees that it could by no possibility be a natural fragment of one. He cut off a portion of the wood to keep and later argued that it might plausibly be a remnant of Noah's Ark. Here's what I love. Later on, when questioned about it, he was like, well, I mean, I thought of a couple other possibilities, but is quoted as saying, no man is bound to discredit his own relic.
Well,
what a fucking awesome.
Well, I mean,
what a solid fuck you.
Yeah. Also, no trees could get up there, so how could wood get up there? Motherfucker, you guys have been climbing this mountain for 300 years. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of
you know how much wood has come down from this fucking thing?
Birds.
Yeah.
Birds. avalanches, rock slides.
Fucking Jimmy trying to get up to the mountain to come back down after he talked to an angel.
Bitch, those are skis.
Yeah.
But trees
don't grow here.
But I love that land. He didn't say there's no possibility. He said, well, I thought of a couple possibilities, but
I didn't like them.
No man is bound to discredit his own relic.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically him saying, yes, I'm aware it's bullshit.
That is the history.
But I don't have to say that it's
That is
bullshit.
the history of almost every Christian artifact that exists.
Right?
Yeah, the Shroud of Turin, they're like, nah, well, that didn't come from here, and also that's not what... No, I mean, that's probably what it is. We did some tests. Inconclusive. See, we did the magic test. The magic test were positive. The scientific test you can't really touch after you've magicked a thing because it goes haywire on the...
It fucks it all up. It's a powerful energy.
Yeah.
Which
lines.
Which we'll legitimately get into. That's the fucked up part.
No.
That's a thing.
No.
So this is probably my second favorite of all of them. This happens in 1883. An avalanche occurs on Mossi, Mount Ararat.
Yeah. Big things fall down. I get it.
This is where the New Zealanders get involved. Which I've been waiting this entire podcast to fucking say. Because they don't come up a lot in our podcast.
Well, they were filming, they were shooting locations, scouting locations for the Hobbit, Mordor. They were like, why not? Yeah.
So
clearly,
avalanche happens, destroys several villages. Like, people die.
Almost like a rock flood.
Yeah, people straight up die. Villages are leveled. So George McCullough Reed decides to play an April Fool's Day joke. I'm dead serious.
I did not see this twist
coming. People died. You know it would be fucking funny.
I mean...
So, he decides to write under his pen name Pollux. Pollux Troy, because that would be so much better.
I know that name.
I'm going to take the arc.
Oh, right.
Off.
Yeah, good.
In the New Zealand Herald. And he claimed that the avalanche revealed Noah's Ark.
Okay.
But he doesn't write it like Jonathan... Well, actually, no. He writes it like Jonathan Swift's satire. Very dry.
Yeah.
Not tongue-in-cheek. Very literal. So I am going to pull up some information here. Reed's story largely takes place in the form of a dispatch supposedly received from the Levant Herald in Constantinople, which he believed to have ceased operations several years earlier. They hadn't. That's how it got discovered. In fact, the paper at that time relaunched as the Eastern Express. The report describes the finding of commissioners appointed by the Turkish government, including a non-existent English scientist by the name of Captain Gascoigne, which had already been submitted to Sultan Abdul Hamid II and the German ambassador to the Ottoman Empire. A reference to an enterprising American traveler seeking to purchase the Ark for exhibition in the United States was very heavily intended by Reed to be inferred as P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Over the next several days, weeks, months, newspapers around the world printed that shit like it was fucking fact. Whole shit tons, to the point where he had to make a statement. Now, one of these was the prophetic messenger, was really
I get it.
Quite hardcore about this is what happened. He printed this from London Times to the Glasgow Herald, from the Leeds Mercury to the Pall Mall Gazette. Through all principal metropolitan and provincial journals in Britain and all over America, my friend Captain Gascoigne and our Ark have been honored with being handed on. But the editor of the Prophetic Messenger is to be credited with the greatest zeal in establishing the authenticity.
Oh, God.
And yet,
still nothing.
He puts out this retraction. No one fucking believes the retraction. A bunch of people keep circulating it, referring to the Prophetic Messenger article.
Yeah.
This is clearly fact. That's where the New Zealanders the New Zealanders came in, was like, right, I know people died.
Yeah, but what if?
But this is fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this has gone too far. And the rest of the world was like, no.
No, we're not.
No, it hasn't.
No. Have you seen NASCAR? We're going to do lefts for another 300 years.
This brings me to my fucking favorite person in this podcast.
Is it me?
This is a dude in the 1880s.
Damn.
Who also claimed to have seen it. That he climbed the summit of Mount Ararat in 1887, saw Noah's Ark. Why do I care about this guy so much? It's
no
not
idea.
his story. His story is pretty basic.
Mhm.
What I care about is his name. His name is John Joseph Nouri. But here's his name with all of his titles.
Okay. Isn't it Nouri from Coast to Coast?
John Joseph Nouri, his Pontifical Eminence, the most venerable prelate, Monseigneur, the Zamorin Nouri, John Joseph Prince of Nouri, D.D. LLD, by divine providence, Chaldean Patriarchal Archdeacon of Babylon and Jerusalem, Grand Apostolic Ambassador of Malabar, India and Persia, the discoverer of Noah's Ark and the Golden Mountains of the Moon, the Sacred Crown's Supreme Representative General of the Holy Orthodox Oriental Patriarchal Imperiality of 900 million people of Asia, the first universal exploring traveler of 1 million miles. That is by far the greatest goddamn name I have heard in my life. But there's a lot to unpack there.
Well, hold on a second. I know we're talking about Noah's Ark. And that's great. What are the Golden Mountains of the Moon?
The Golden Mountains of the Moon, which is not part of my research, but I did have to read about it because I was like, he went to the moon? No. These are historical mountain range that they call the Golden Mountains of the Moon, which are somewhere in Africa. Modern day, we think it's probably somewhere in the Democratic People's Republic of Congo, which, by the way, it is none of those things.
Yeah. Oh, I know what this is.
And it's close to the Garden of Eden.
I know what this is.
Go for it.
So map makers, way back in the day, right? I did a whole thing on how map makers work. They put fake shit on their maps.
I like that I don't get. I honestly like that I don't get to surprise you with shit because you've read all this shit already. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they put fake shit on their maps so they know when people copy them and they can sue them. So in Africa, they do this huge mountain range that doesn't fucking exist.
The Golden Mountains of the Moon.
Oh,
so it's not how they started, but it is what they became.
No shit. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this guy's cool. Tell me more about this guy.
How fucking awesome is that name, though?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
What happened to this guy? In 1893, he visited San Francisco, where he was giving a talk about having seen Noah's Ark and also the Golden Mountains of the Moon. I'm going to bring this up as well. Where he was robbed and left at the Napa Insane Asylum, which took him into custody as a patient. Hold on. Although he eventually arranged his release, the incident raised questions about his mental state.
Weird.
Really? And therefore, the legitimacy of his extraordinary claims. Here's the weird part. Upon researching the case for a 2014 paper, Emrah Sahin concluded that Nouri, though of an unusual character, was actually sane. An 1897 report that Nouri had been crowned patriarch at the Chaldean Pontifical Cathedral at Thrissur had been taken a vindication of authenticity. What? It sounds like he's full of shit.
Yeah.
But all of the reports at the time are like, nah, this dude legit.
He really is the imperial ruler of China.
A lot of his shit, was verified. He was, dude. Okay. He was crowned the patriarch at the Chaldean Pontifical Cathedral at Thrissur. That is it's like being told you're archbishop.
Okay.
Kind of a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
In the late 1800s.
Okay.
To do that, they go through a legitimate vetting process. And through that vetting process, they were like, yeah, dude's fucking legit.
At what?
Legitness. At being, and you know what? I know this is a podcast and people can rewind.
Yeah.
I want to do it again. Actually, I don't want to do it again. Tyler.
Yeah.
I want you to do it.
Oh, man.
Because it's fucking hysterical when you have to read. Hold on. I'm highlighting it.
Yeah.
For anyone just listening to this podcast and not actually watching it, first of all, why?
I mean, good job. There's just us sitting here. I don't blame you.
We're better in picture. I got camera angles and shit. It is the part I have highlighted in blue. So, Tyler, if you can please tell me his full name and title, I would appreciate it.
His Pontifical Eminence, the most venerable prelate, Monseigneur, I hate that word specifically. That is my most hated word. The Zamorin Nouri, John Joseph Prince of Nouri, D.D. LLD. Doesn't say what any of those are. This guy, these letters.
The last D, by the way, is the part in parentheses.
Oh, so by divine providence, okay. The Chaldean patriarchal Archdeacon of, I almost said Archdemon, of Babylon and Jerusalem, Grand Apostolic, which I caught that the first time, I enjoy that word, Ambassador of Malabar, India, and Persia, the discoverer of Noah's Ark and the Golden Mountains of the Moon, the Sacred Crown Supreme Representative General of the Holy Orthodox, Oriental, Patriarchal, Imperiality, fuck me, of 900 million people of Asia, and the first universal exploring traveler of 1 million miles. What the fuck?
What was the fourth Assassin's Creed game? With the pirates?
Fuck off.
Say it.
Nope.
Say it.
I will not.
Say it, you son of a bitch.
Black Flag.
You did well. You did well.
I had to close my eyes. We might have to do an episode on who the fuck this dude is.
I really want to.
Yeah.
I really want to.
I don't even know what any of that means.
Neither do I, which is the greatest part. I searched everywhere.
Yeah.
By going to Wikipedia. I searched everywhere. They had no citations.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I have no idea.
I love that he would have given a speech. Got robbed, air quotes for non-videographers. Video viewers, I guess.
Viewers.
Right. Got robbed, and then they put him in the insane asylum. What should have happened is when he got out, they should have went to everyone that went to his talk and then fucking put them in the asylum.
Yeah.
Because this is insane.
He's apparently perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So.
Con man? Were they just like con man and I don't want to say con man?
I don't know. Like this dude, he seems like a con man, but he's not. So I'm getting the wrap it up signal from the producer, which again, oh my God, I love that fact. I love that we have a producer. I wanted to do an 1.5 hour episode.
Mm-hmm.
However, I haven't gotten to the 1900s and modern times. So I leave this up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we take a break and keep going?
Not at the same time, but one then the other.
I don't know what that means.
Let's take a break and then we'll keep going.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be right back.
For the
patriarchal eminence of 9 million Asians in Persia is stepping away from And we're back.
Good. That's where I wanted to be. Now, during our break, I did take a quick gander.
Okay.
And I found an article from November 1897. And I don't know how newspapers work, so it's right now just this snippet.
Okay.
But I'll try and investigate this more in depth later. But John Joseph Nouri crowned the learned Oriental known here in Washington was not an imposter. This is in San Francisco.
I'm sorry, the what?
Learned Oriental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Washington, D.C., April 18th. A strange-looking man came here several years ago, introducing himself as John Joseph Nouri, Archdeacon of Babylon. He wore the garb of a monk, and this, with his Oriental features, made him a conspicuous object on the streets. Among other things, he said he had discovered the remains of Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat. This met with a denial from the Turkish minister. And then it cuts off. But something about Reverend Dr. Easton verified it somehow. But yeah, so I found a place to start, and I'll see what I can discover.
Yeah, we really need to do a podcast about this dude. But very little is known about him.
Yeah.
So it might be a struggle.
Yeah, we'll see. You're probably right.
You do the research now?
You're probably right.
This brings me into the 1900s.
Okay.
Which involves the Russians.
Ooh, that's always exciting.
And yet it doesn't involve the Russians.
That's also accurate.
In 1940, there was an article called Noah's Ark Found.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull up some info on it here. It appeared in a special edition of New Eden, clearly a reputable source.
Right.
And it was one of several booklets published in Los Angeles by Floyd M. Gurley.
That's unfortunate.
The article was credited to a Vladimir Roskovitsky, which, if you're making up a Russian name, right?
That's a Tom Clancy bad guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Clearly bullshit. That name is clearly bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm Vladimir Roskovitsky.
I think that's your fucking vampire name in our D&D game.
It fucking might be.
Jesus.
Which, are we recording those as well?
I don't think so, no.
But we should.
We'd have to do them.
I'm so...
Oh.
COVID.
Yeah. Sure.
And contained his account of discovering Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat in 1917, just before the Russian Revolution. So, I'm going to pull this up. This is a synopsis of it.
Okay.
According to the story, Roskovitsky was a Russian aviator stationed 25 miles northeast of Ararat. In August, they didn't provide an actual year, he was ordered to perform a test flight of an airplane equipped with a new supercharger. Flying near Ararat, Roskovitsky and his co-pilot spotted an enormous shipwreck on the shore of a lake on the mountain. There's no lake. His captain later identified the wreckage as Noah's Ark and submitted a report to the government, which sent 150 soldiers to the site. The expedition's report was supposedly sent to the Tsar just days before the, and I'm quoting, godless Bolshevism took over, causing the report to be suppressed and presumably destroyed to, and I'm quoting, discredit all religion and belief in the truth of the Bible.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of that at that time.
They really, really were.
Found out that the Priory of Zion thing, the notes of the
Priory of the Zion.
No, that's Da Vinci Code. The other one, the notes of the.
You sure it's not Priory of the Zion?
I'm not sure.
You sure there's not hidden symbols in?
No, it's
in
definitely
the Mona
not
Lisa?
that one. There's another one. There's a big fake conspiracy thing where the Jews all got together to plan out how they were going to take over the world, and it starts with dropping the czars of Russia. It turns out a dude in France wrote it as a satire against right before the French Revolution.
We have a long history of humanity of
and
just
then there's a Russian spy that stole it, rewrote it, re-released it, and then the Catholic Church got a hold of it, and when they went to Colombia, it got new wings because the Catholics were trying to take over the religious authority there and started repurposing it. So it's funny that I'm running into this again. That whole Tsarist Russia falling thing scared the shit out of people with money at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Roskovitsky identified as a white Russian. So I guess he had a little Kahlua in him.
And some Kahlua,
Turns out a white Russian was a Russian subject who emigrated from the territory of former Imperial Russia in the wake of Russian Revolution and Russian Civil War, and who was in opposition to the Red Communists.
Yeah. I also love the idea that some dude found a boat on a mountain next to a lake that didn't exist, and Russia was like, 148 troops, get them over there.
Discredit all of this. So,
right? Producer, can you do me a favor? Can you look something up real quick? Can you look up the Armenian Genocide? I don't know when that happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that's during this time, and that would be interesting
to me.
Wow,
that's also current political climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the dates.
I wanted to go to Istanbul really bad.
Yeah.
But then
it's Constantinople.
Biden came out and was like, hey, by the way, Turkey killed all those Armenians in genocide.
Yeah. Young Turks.
And now I'm like, I don't know if my U.S. passport's going to work for Istanbul.
You got a date?
Kind of. This is supposedly took place in 1917.
Yeah.
So maybe around there a little bit. So he is said to have fled to the United States in order to enjoy the freedom to pursue his newfound faith.
Him and his buddy Vladimir.
Here's the reason why this story is bullshit. Tsar Nicholas II, he abdicated the throne at the end of the February Revolution, months before the Bolsheviks took over.
Almost worked.
In the October Revolution. Weird that they gave us the fucking months.
Yeah.
By the way, the story references parachutes, oxygen cans, superchargers, and aircrafts, which didn't fucking exist at the time. The article was written in 1940 when that shit did exist.
Well, yeah.
But didn't exist in 1917.
Technology before Hitler did.
Yeah.
That's how Hitler got it. He got it from the Ruskies.
Who's the producer of Ancient Aliens?
The producer? Oh, God.
Dick.
Cheese?
Head? Whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. So
it's the circus, not the story.
Now I'm doing my producer gave you shit about left hand.
Oh, your producer.
Ain't your producer.
That's probably true.
My producer.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting here with Jameson. You have a Corona. Clearly someone has liked more. So it's clearly bullshit. Yeah. Historically.
Bolshevik. This is a big old pile of bullshit.
Fuck you and your puns. It's complete bullshit. But man, it gains traction. People fucking love the story. And there's a whole bunch of people between that bullshit story and the next guy, James Irwin. Now,
not related to the Australian.
Not related to the Australian. You know James Irwin because he was he's
an astronaut.
He's a fucking astronaut. He was the 8th person to walk on the moon.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he actually got there, but yeah, I knew he went up. I just didn't know if he landed.
So during the Apollo 15 mission, he experienced a religious epiphany.
Yeah.
Resigned from NASA.
I think the deal was there was a problem with the space shuttle, right? And he said God
saved them.
Yeah.
Religious epiphany, resigned from NASA, and started his own evangelical organization called High Flight Foundation.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of with this one is that when you're up in space, all the calculations and shit that he probably knows are going on, and the one thing doesn't go wrong, that almost did, it's got to break your fucking brain, right?
Got to.
There's so many things that could have happened.
So this dude did 8 fucking summits.
Yeah. Didn't he bring the fucking ground penetrating radar and shit too?
He tried.
Yeah.
But some of my favorite expeditions that he did. In 1982, ended in disaster because he left the group in search of a shortcut to the summit. Because fucking why not? Yeah. Hey, these fucking Sherpas that know the mountains because they live here.
Motherfucker.
Fuck those guys.
Middle name Columbus,
I know the path.
Bitch.
Have you seen the Golden Mountains of the Moon? I done seen the Golden Mountains of the Moon.
Yeah, on the moon.
Yeah. Well, he fell off the trail.
It's weird how that happened.
No memory of what caused the fall, but later speculated he'd been caught in a rock slide and struck by a rock. He awoke hours later, badly wounded, and crawled into his sleeping bag to survive the night.
Oh, it was an angel.
The expedition team sent out a search party the following day, which rescued him and brought him down the mountain for medical treatment. The next time he did it, a month later, he decided, you know what? I went up with these crew of mountain climbers, Sherpas. People know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Second time, just going to take my wife and son.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
He hoped to pursue a tip offered to him by another explorer who reported seeing an object about 12,000 feet up the mountain in Ahora Gorge.
Yeah, an object. Nah, man, I looked up there. There's a thing.
Here's why I'm reading this. Mary Irwin, his wife, later expressed misgivings about her husband's mental state so soon after the fall. Quoting, because Jim's rationale wasn't quite right after being hit so hard on his head. He deduced we wouldn't need backpacks and climbing gear.
She's fucking lucky she got to make that statement.
On one of the world's most difficult fucking mountains, this dude was like, hooks? Rope?
Forget it.
Fuck that.
We don't need no stinking stuff.
All I need is my Bible. So... they didn't make it up the mountain.
No.
August 1883. Another attempt. This
1883?
1983. This time partnering with Marvin Steffens. They chartered an airplane to survey the entire thing. It was a 22-member expedition, but blizzard. He was quoted as saying, "It's easier to walk on the moon." Now, here's the thing. I think at the time he thought that was a profound statement. It's easier to walk on the moon. It's not easier to get to the moon.
No.
It's just because you're walking, asshole. You're not climbing a fucking
Gravity's
mountain.
Real low. Doesn't take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
His problem is he doesn't understand gravity.
Turns out
Earth gravity.
It's really easy to walk on the fucking moon.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit to get used to.
Yeah. Also, to come back down could be a problem. Be careful, moonwalkers.
He was also quoted as saying, "I've done all I possibly can. Noah's Ark continues to elude us." Because it's not there. He tried again in 1984.
It's not supposed to be there.
I know. That's the greatest part about all this. They're all climbing this mountain that people way back when kind of sort of decided that it's probably here. Even if the Ark myth is true.
Yeah.
It's not. But if it's true, it's not on that mountain. No. Most likely.
No. It's a mountain range. It doesn't even say whatever. We went over that.
So, tries again in 1984. However, beforehand, he acknowledged the possibility that the Ark might not be found. He believed firmly that the ship existed. But most likely it's been destroyed over the centuries. The likelihood of it surviving at all is small. He is quoted as saying, and yet, he tried again.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be sure, right?
So he tried again in 1985, which was a problem because during 1985, a lot of climbing groups had been ambushed by Kurdish rebels.
Yeah.
So the team was very small, had to be escorted by Turkish military forces. They tried going up the mountain. They decided not.
Yeah.
So according to the U.S. ambassador to Turkey, Robert Strauss Hupe, H-U-P-E with a little thing over the E, Hupe, the government was reacting to Soviet maneuvers near the border and concerned that Irwin would become a high-value target for the terrorists. I gotta say, probably not.
I bet he would have. First of all, would they even give a shit?
At this point in time, I don't think anyone in America is like, oh, you guys remember James Irwin? The 8th person to be on the moon? I named my child James after James Irwin, the 8th person on the moon.
I'm just saying, wouldn't have been a successful target, but he's a religious man that's invading their fucking country again. If I was them,
he's a legitimate target, but not a successful target.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So he planned to make a 6th trip in 1986 with a smaller team. They were disrupted when he got asthma. By July, he resumed his plan, quoted as saying, "My doctor is against my traveling, and he said that I cannot go over 10,000 feet. But the Lord willing, I will be there."
That's another thing that cracks me up. It's like, if all of this is true, right? You have to assume God is sitting on a cloud going, what the fuck do I have to do? Stay off the mountain, Irwin.
So
I sent you to the moon. Who gives a shit?
Stay off my goddamn mountain. So at that point, they did an aerial survey of the mountain. And then were detained in their hotel because the Soviets and the Iranians said they violated their fucking airspace. Because of course they did. I can't. We're going to keep going. According to expedition member Bob Kornuk, Irwin expressed concern that his fame was clearly attracting media attention and the security risks were hampering his search.
If only I wasn't so famous, I could get famous.
So famous. It's Neil Armstrong, George Washington, and James Irwin.
If only I hadn't have done the moon, I could have found this boat.
He was quoted as saying, Jim himself had confided on our last trip as the permit process reached new heights of lunacy that the problems could be traced to him.
Yeah, okay, fine. Stop it.
Not a sinister Turkish plot to prevent us from finding the ark.
Oh, those are the two options? That's what I got to pick from?
It is either I am so famous as James Irwin, the 8th person on the moon, or, and I'm quoting this word, a sinister Turkish plot.
You can't let him find the boat.
In that September, he announced, I think I've done all I can.
What'll Beam say?
I think fucking Beam.
What if you know you fucked support?
Up? You know what you fucked up? You forgot about Beam.
Beam's evil counterpart support.
He was quoted that September as saying, I think I've done all I can to attract attention to the Ark. Clearly. I think it's time for others to take up the search. And he gave up.
Are we going to talk about the Japanese yet?
Until 1987.
We're going to talk about the Japanese yet?
He tried to go up a couple times, but we're gonna skip past. There was a couple other people. Ed Davis.
Did you see the Japanese? Okay.
Well, first of all, not Japanese. They were Chinese. Hong Kong. You're talking about the Noah's Ark Ministries International? Yeah. Well, I promise you, we'll get to that bullshit.
It's my favorite part.
Why is that your favorite fucking part?
All right, how many millions you want to look for this boat that doesn't exist on this piece of wood that somebody
turned it into a scam? Yes. So you've got
make that money back.
You've got Daniel McGivern, a Honolulu businessman, 1995, decided that he was going to give it a shot.
Nah, they got mountains in Hawaii.
And this is my favorite line because it sums up all this bullshit so well. According to his research, that statement right there. According to his research, by the way, vaccines, autism, and they're dangerous, and you can't get it against COVID. Because I did all this research.
Yeah, Sonya Blade. That's how she found out about the tournament.
You're gonna modern Mortal Kombat me?
Fucking.
You son of a bitch.
Just so mad.
A 2003 heat wave has melted the ice enough and snow on the northwestern slope to reveal a dark patch.
I know the patch.
Which resembles 3 beams and a crossbeam. Or it's a dark patch.
It's the holy trinity of the Ark. It's beam, crossbeam. The 3 faces of God pole.
Yep. And then you've got Bob Cornuke, and again, it's all bullshit. And that takes us to Noah's Ark Ministries International.
That's my favorite.
In 2004, media evangelism founder Andrew Yuen Man Fai and pastor Bose Lee Chao Kwong announced the discovery of parts of Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat. It was reported that their team found a massive wooden structure.
I got you.
Fucking edit that shit. Kiss my ass. They reported that their team found a massive wooden structure at 13,800 feet during their fourth trip to the mountain. And here's my favorite. According to an exhibit at Hong Kong's Noah's Ark theme park, what? Dad, I want to go to Disney World. No, son, we're going to Noah's Ark theme park in Hong Kong.
Dude, they love their theme parks.
Do you know how much land is in Hong Kong?
Just enough to land a boat, motherfucker.
It's absurdly expensive. And yet, they managed to have enough money to lease that land from the government. Can't buy it. To lease that land from the government to build the Noah's Ark theme park.
Josh, they built Paris and no one lives in it.
Not in Hong Kong. In places where the land is way fucking cheaper.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. They don't want to get closer to the mountain. They don't want to buy the
you ever
studies.
thought about living in a 4-foot by 5-foot cage? Well, that's $1,500 a month US, motherfucker.
I slept under your desk for a long time.
And it cost you nothing. In Hong Kong, other than your dignity. In Hong Kong, that's $2,600 a month, son. What? And by the way, here's what I love. Everywhere I look them up, everyone calls them Nami. So Yuen and Lee had no evidence of their claim beyond some blurred images because, again, is it that Bigfoot and aliens have like a filter that automatically turns on and that your $1,000 camera all of a sudden can't take a crisp photo?
Well, for them, I think it was probably crisp and they had to blur it because they needed fucking money. And I'm sure with Bigfoot...
Up the Gaussian! Up the Gaussian!
I'm sure it's a lot of the same problem.
They said that they tried to take video footage. And as you said earlier, and it's coming back up again, they were stopped by a mysterious force that disrupted their video footage. That mysterious force, by the way, was, oh shit, this doesn't look like an arc. Fucking delete it. Fucking delete it now. Right.
If I knew Hong Kong landmarks, I would have thrown one in there, but I don't, so I can't.
So according to Mount Victoria.
Oh
Mount
shit,
Victoria,
you could see Mount Victoria through the window.
Also, Mount Victoria in Hong Kong?
Be Mount Victoria in Hong Kong?
I'm almost positive there's a Mount Victoria or something like that in Hong Kong. It was a British colony for like fucking ever until 1999.
That's true.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm probably right. Hold on, we're gonna wait for this one.
2.
Now, Hong Kong Mountain. Old Mount Vicky in Hong Kong.
Long live
or
the Queen.
Victoria Peak or some shit. Boom! Victoria Peak, motherfucker.
In New Zealand?
In Hong Kong, you bitch. There's a peak of Mount Victoria.
Oh shit, they're
New
getting
Zealand.
a peek through they're getting a peek. Oh, fuck, I can't even do it. You know what I want it to be. You know what I want it to be.
Fix it in post.
Yeah. Put the filter on.
So, according to their website, oh god, this hurts to fucking go through. Turkish mountaineer Ahmet Ertuğrul, nicknamed Parasut.
Oh, he's only,
submitted a sample of petrified wood to NAMI, which he claimed to have obtained in August 2006 from a second wooden structure located 13,000 feet up the mountain. They claimed that an expedition was sent in February of 2007, which found the 2004 site had collapsed due to an earthquake. No recorded earthquakes on record, and was prevented from examining the 2006 site due to weather conditions, even though they had, a bunch of fucking heavy machinery in it all the time in the goddamn world.
All those rebels.
October 2007, a press conference announced that a follow-up mission in August successfully recovered more petrified wood from the site that was first reported.
Oh no shit, it's petrified. These people keep digging it up and selling it as something that ain't. That'd be scary to me too.
So here's one of the things I love. In 2010, they announced they had more wood, and they filmed it. But we can't see the footage. And they carbon dated the wood to 4,800 BC, which again, BP. which then a bunch of evangelicals came out and said, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Because carbon dating's not real.
Yeah. Earth's not that old and you can't do that. Yep. Oops. Oh, shit. We can't have it both ways.
We're going to make money from these motherfuckers.
Not
and they
today,
were like,
motherfucker. No. You run the right
Did you say carbon dating, sir? Well, I've canceled my check.
Would you like some lemonade? You can't have any lemonade.
Footage of the interior structure was released on NAMI's YouTube account, and NAMI said that Turkey would submit the location for designation as a World Heritage Site. However, when reached for comment, a spokesperson for UNESCO, who, you know, defines World Heritage Sites, said that they never received such a request.
Yeah, probably not. I think I've seen that footage. It's just, I think there's like an Asian chick in a dark room and some ice, I think is what it is.
So this is directly from the Wikipedia article about this.
Yeah.
The immediate response to the announcement was largely skeptical. No shit. Mainstream scientists objected to the lack of professional archaeologists involved with the research and the decision to reveal the findings via a media event rather than publishing a peer-reviewed study. Creationists, as we spoke about, also expressed concern about the lack of data available for independent cooperation. Creationists.
Yeah.
Creationists
sure
said,
the science
you really haven't done enough research to say that this is how it happened.
Mr. DeWin, I've looked at your results and I'm just not
Jesus
sure.
Christ.
You need to...
Andrew A. Snelling later said that NAMI supplied him with their radiocarbon dating report, which showed that the only one test of one sample had produced the result of 4800 BC. BP, whatever. I gotta get used to that. BP is the non-religious version because BC is before Christ,
I got
right?
a Pluto and you got a BC. We're fine.
All right. Moreover, Snelling rejected the 4800 BP result as evidence of Noah's Ark based on creationist beliefs about carbon-14 levels in antediluvian wood. Also, Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism expressed doubt that NAMI secured permission to conduct their expeditions in the first place.
This is all wrong.
And then began an investigation into them.
Yeah.
Within days of the announcement, Randall Price, who had consulted with NAMI in 2008, came forward with allegations that Ertugrul hired Kurdish workers to construct the site using wood from an old structure near the Black Sea.
Yep.
And that's my favorite part. They're like, yeah, it is 4800 BCE. Because it's from over here.
Yeah, it turns out you didn't find it there, did you?
And other people were like,
that's not beam.
NAMI rebutted it by saying that there's no way we could have gotten the wood up there. And then they came out and said, here's the pictures of all your fucking heavy machinery.
Getting the wood up there.
Dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the fact that it was very clearly possible because in 2007, Greenpeace built a fucking ark on the mountain. We couldn't have gotten the wood structure up there, guys.
Well, there's no trees, Josh.
There's so many trees.
There's no way wood can make it up that high. There's no trees.
After promoting the release of the 2011 film, The Days of Noah 2, Apocalypse.
Which, by the way, sign me up for that shit.
The website, noahsarksearch.net, owned by NAMI, wasn't being updated anymore. Support for NAMI's claims was later taken up by Norman Geisler, who invited Ertugrul to speak at an apologetics conference organized by Southern Evangelical Seminary in October of 2015. Here's what I didn't know, that Christian apologetics still exist. That was surprising as well. Joel Klenk, love that name, formerly associated with NAMI, has continued to promote NAMI's claims as recently as December of 2020. They never disclosed the location of the site they reported. They've never actually had independent verification. They lied.
Yeah.
Very fucking clearly lied.
Yeah. So bad that the fucking dude that runs the creationist fucking museum was like
this is...
I don't see any dinosaurs up there, buddy.
We're going to need this submitted for peer review. Here's where the downside of all this bullshit is, and it kind of brings me to the end. Donna De Erico. She falls down a mountain while looking for Noah's Ark, Mount Ararat. Very hard to climb mountain. And we'll put up a picture of her injuries. They weren't super severe, but they looked fucking rough, and she could have died had she not fallen off. But someone did die. There was a gentleman by the name of Donald Mckenzie. He was a self-styled missionary, and he decided he wanted to go...
Actually, is all of them.
He wanted to go track down Noah's Ark. He researched it for like a decade, and he went to Ararat in 2010, hoping to find Ertugrul's site, specifically the site that NAMI mentioned, on his own. Contacted his family from the mountain in September, but was never heard from again. His abandoned campsite was later found, but the circumstances of his disappearance remain unknown. He is dead. Most likely avalanche,
fell off a mountain.
rebels, fucking eaten by wolves. Who fucking knows? their bullshit, their lies, and this is why I ended up wanting to talk about it. I went down this rabbit hole on my own, and I was really interested in the information. And there's a lot of information, hence the constant reading of my notes. There's a lot of information in here. But it's not the part that bothered me. The part that bothered me is in the end, they've scammed people out of money. They've used it in the past to convince people that the religion's right, even though while they're presenting it as fact, it's complete bullshit and they have no factual evidence. And in the end, very recently, it ends in the death of a man who, self-styled missionary, and you and I can make our jokes all I want, dude didn't deserve to fucking die alone on a goddamn mountain tracking down someone else's fucking straight up lie. Mm-hmm. That is why I thought this was worth talking about.
No, for sure.
Noah's Ark has been used for convincing oppression, lying, money, and death since its fucking inception.
And I know where the Ark is.
In Orlando.
Kentucky, I think. Kentucky or Tennessee?
I think Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go and see it.
Yep.
And it's still stupid.
Yep.
So, animatronics, though.
Well, there's the whole fucking Holy Land experience in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it literally only exists to either trick people into their belief or trick people out of their wallets.
There's probably a meta statement to be said about such things. I don't know if we're willing to go there yet and just say, oh, that's what religion is for.
Yeah.
But
yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that is what I learned about Noah's Ark.
That was fucking crazy.
Recently,
it's not over. There's no way it's over.
No,
it'll never be over because it doesn't exist.
You have this group. When I told Kat, our producer, about this originally, she was like, "Well, no one takes it literally."
Oh yeah.
So many people take it literally to the point where they die alone on a fucking mountain.
Yeah, searching for something that was in their hearts the whole time.
It was the friends we made along the way.
Until they died.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's...
I will say that it does do a lot for the economy there. Which might be a good thing.
They actually, there's a quote saying that the actions of 2,000 people support the lives of 100,000 people in this area.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
You know, there's some Spock thing in there.
Needs of the many.
Yeah.
Sacrifice the few. But fuck, man.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
And like... It begs the question. I tried searching for it as much as I can. Donna De Erico. Mm-hmm. Did she actually believe in this, or was it a publicity stunt? Yes.
Yeah.
That's and that's what all of it is. I think a lot of these people, at least early on, truly did believe in it. And then when they ran into their own evidence saying no,
well, no
they
man
then just lied about it.
No man can refute his own relic.
No man is bound to discredit his own relic.
Mm-hmm. That was parasailing.
No man is bound to parasail.
If you do, though, please be bound to it.
So that's something. That's our thing. What's our next long form podcast about?
I'm gonna do a thing on best of the best.
Okay.
I don't know how long that'll be, and then I got a President James A. Garfield thing in the works.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you next time, I guess.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Bye.